Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. You gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like 3 million. There's watches that are 3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car.
When the topic of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s real estate claims surfaced, Joe Rogan didn't hold back his skepticism. Instead of quietly questioning it, he openly challenged the numbers, pointing out that something about them just didn't make sense.
Fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed. Like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
And that Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from an individual, from a billionaire that had a 9%.
Rogan also pushed back on the broader story surrounding Floyd, especially claims that he controls dozens of high-value properties worth tens of millions. He stressed that making bold statements about wealth is one thing, but having confirmed ownership is a completely different reality.
How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right.
You know
I've
what's
given
not
you
good?
$25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has 15.
That's where things get interesting. Floyd built the Money Mayweather image around endless wealth, cash, luxury watches, and a lifestyle that screams dominance. But behind the scenes, whispers suggest the truth may be more complicated.
And because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion.
Reports from Business Insider claim that 2 of Floyd's commercial real estate holdings have faced foreclosure issues. There were also concerns about unpaid property taxes tied to a Las Vegas strip club building, along with disputes over luxury watches and jewelry, claims Floyd has denied.
That they said in this article were insane, that Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral.
The outlet also mentioned that 2 Trump Las Vegas condos were briefly taken over for unpaid taxes before being returned. On top of that, a reported $54 million loan allegedly used Floyd's assets as collateral, raising more questions about his financial situation.
Why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd Mayweather? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say he can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing channel, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things?
Whether exaggerated or misunderstood, the gap between Floyd's flashy image and financial headlines sparked major debate. Chael Sonnen then jumped in, questioning why people are surprised by the Floyd might be broke narrative.
Wait, what do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that.
And it's the same thing with the check.
I got $100 million for a fight.
Oh, you did? Who signed the check?
Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them.
Sonnen flipped the question. If people work every week because they need money, why should it be different for a boxer? He also challenged the idea of billion-dollar earnings, saying many figures come from hype rather than verified data.
You think they are, right? The numbers are good and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And yeah, of course Floyd broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to...
He went further, criticizing how sports finances are often exaggerated. He pointed out that announcing multiple fights could create chaos for promoters, especially in a sport where timing and exclusivity are everything.
No, he doesn't. Will Logan ever get the money? I think Floyd's broke. Floyd does not owe Logan $1.3 million. Floyd's promotion owes Logan $1.3 million. And no, of course he's not going to get it. That promotion's already shut down.
Meanwhile, critics pointed at Floyd's promotion, including confusion around Logan Paul. Despite all the controversy, one thing remains. When Floyd's name appears, the entire combat sports world pays attention.
On their podcast that Floyd Mayweather is talking about coming back, unretiring.
He is.
Because he's broke.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip here of Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco.
There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may have been lost, or money that may have been stolen, or money he may have spent, to date. For one, a rematch with Canelo. That's one fight.
Canelo too big.
Listen to me, Unc. We talk about making that money.
The debate grew when Jason Whitlock and his panel joined in. Alongside Shannon Sharpe, they suggested Floyd's return could be about chasing big money, especially with names like Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, and Terence Crawford being mentioned.
And he's 47 years old and he's completely broke. He's won the prize. This is, of all the idiots that we've seen out there, celebrities, actors, entertainers that have lost a lot of money, this guy would take the cake. To blow a bill before he even hits 50 is unimaginable. It actually is sad. It's a cautionary tale. We have seen it time and time again. But who actually wants to watch this guy fight? Like, people that love him. If he comes out and if he loses and looks terrible and gets destroyed, well, look, if you love him or hate him, you can say, well, he's nearly...
The discussion then shifted toward motivation. Why fighters fight? Floyd built his entire identity around money, so even rumors of financial trouble quickly become major headlines. Others pointed out that the real issue is hidden factors like debts, taxes, and lifestyle costs.
As business,
He's been filthy rich. He's made his name, his legacy, and a lot of his reputation wasn't just the boxing. It was the money. It's the money man. What I have, what I'm driving, what I'm living in, what I'm flying in. And a lot of people, they don't like that. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather had more supporters for most of his fights or more haters. But regardless of where you fall on that line, Floyd Mayweather made it work for him when many people, promoters included, networks included.
While some questioned a comeback at his age, others admitted the truth. If Floyd fights again, especially against top names, people will watch no matter what.
Over and over and over, and he has to process, can he do anything with me? How does my skill set line up with his? Can I beat him? The problem with being 49 years of age is sometimes your brain can see things and tell you things that your body's not in agreement with. That's the problem with age. Your brain is still saying, I'm him. Your brain is still saying, man, I'm Money Mayweather. Man, these youngsters can't deal with me. But your body is saying, brother, we don't.
Then Andre Ward brought a fighter's perspective. He emphasized Floyd's work ethic and explained that boxing becomes part of who you are. The adrenaline and spotlight are hard to replace.
Danger of coming back at this age. So part of me wants to see these guys continue to make money. Part of me wants to see these guys, how do they do it at this age? Man, show me something. Show me how your mind can overtake the deficiencies you may have in your body at your age. But the deeper part of me, man, I want to see Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao on a beach somewhere, living off the fruits of their labor, helping the game however they see fit to help the game, and just watching the next generations do what they do. But hey, we gotta.
In the end, it all comes down to one question. Is Floyd returning for money, passion, or unfinished business with Manny Pacquiao? Whatever the reason, one thing is clear. When legends return, the world watches.